overheard my husband fiercely defending my failing bakery to his brother. 2 years ago, I completely walked away from a 10-year career as a pediatric nurse. I was hopelessly burned out, constantly crying in the hospital break room and running on absolute empty. So I quit, and I decided to turn my lifelong passion for allergy-friendly baking into a legitimate, home-based business. I know it sounds like a cute, cozy little hobby, but it has been brutal. I don't just bake cupcakes for fun. I spend my days sourcing expensive gluten-free flours, managing a chaotic spreadsheet of inventory, and boxing up orders until my fingers ache. The truth is, the business has been struggling hard. Some weeks, I only get 2 or 3 small orders. My own mother constantly texts me job openings at local clinics, and my husband's ultra-successful younger brother, Ryan, is even worse. At Thanksgiving, he loudly asked me in front of the entire family if I was still playing Betty Crocker in the kitchen. I laughed it off with everyone else because my self-esteem was completely shot. When you feel like a failure, every single joke feels like a massive punch to the gut. I assumed my husband, Tom, felt the exact same way they did. Tom is a famously laid-back guy. He absolutely hates conflict. This is a man who will literally let a mechanic overcharge him just to avoid an awkward conversation. He would quietly help me wash out my heavy mixing bowls at night, but I always figured he was just being sweet, patiently waiting for me to give up and go back to a real job. Well, last Sunday, Ryan came over to our house to watch the baseball game. I made them some appetizers and then retreated to my prep pantry to package up a tiny batch of vegan cookies. The pantry door was cracked open, so I could easily hear the TV and the sound of them chatting in the living room. Then, my stomach completely dropped. Ryan laughed, a smug, condescending little chuckle, and said, "So, seriously, man, when is she going to give up this little muffin gig? The economy is getting rough. Isn't it time she went back to the hospital and pulled her weight?" I froze. I was holding a roll of bubble wrap, suddenly unable to breathe. I waited for Tom to give his usual nervous laugh. I waited for him to casually change the subject to keep the peace. Instead, I heard the television click off. "Do not call it a muffin gig, Ryan," Tom said. His voice was shockingly cold, firm, and completely foreign to me. "She doesn't just bake muffins. She runs a certified allergy-safe business from the ground up." Ryan stammered, trying to backtrack, but Tom cut him off. "You have absolutely no idea what she goes through," Tom continued, his voice rising with intense passion. "She is up at 3 in the morning, scrubbing burnt caramel off of commercial baking sheets. Last month, when a supplier messed up her vanilla order, she drove 3 hours to a specialty store, just so a little boy with a dairy allergy could have a safe birthday cake. She works 6 days a week, tears her hair out over marketing, and never complains. I have never seen anyone work that hard in my entire life." The living room was dead silent. I was practically holding my breath. "But she's barely making any money," Ryan whispered, sounding genuinely intimidated. "I do not care about the money," Tom snapped back immediately. "You know what I keep tucked behind my phone case? The $22 receipt from her very first online sale. I look at it every single day because I am so insanely proud to be married to her. It is her dream, Ryan, and you will respect it in my house." I didn't pack any more cookies that afternoon. I just sank down onto the pantry floor, covered in powdered sugar, and ugly cried into my apron. For 2 long years, I honestly thought I was just a disappointment to him. I thought he was just tolerating my failure. But behind closed doors, when he thought I couldn't hear him, my quiet, peacekeeping husband was defending my dream like it was the most valuable thing in the entire world. He still doesn't know I overheard them. But every morning when my alarm goes off at 3 a.m., I smile and I get straight to work.